family of a Connecticut man paralyzed while in police custody have hired renowned civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. Police video shows the June 19th incident when 36-year-old Randy Cox slammed into a wall while in the back of a police transport van. Newsy national correspondent Axel Tercios is live in New York City for us. And Axel, the family held a news conference this morning. What do they have to say about this?
Natalie, the family was very clear about what they want. They are demanding the officials in New Haven to fire and arrest the officers involved in this case. The family said that Randy Cox is still at the hospital and he has undergone multiple surgeries. And at the moment, they also said that he is largely paralyzed from the chest down. Now we're going to go ahead and show you the video, and we warn you that this video contains graphic content that may be disturbing to some viewers. Now you're going to be able to see that moment when Richard Cox flies headfirst into the back wall of a van while being in custody and driven to the New Haven Police Department. In the video, you could hear Cox screaming for help while he's unable to move. Officer Oscar Diaz, who was driving the van, told his superiors he braked hard to avoid a collision. Diaz then continued driving to the police department despite Cox calling for help and saying he was injured and couldn't move. A few minutes later, Diaz stopped the van to check on Cox, who was lying motionless on the floor. The officer called paramedics but told them to meet them at the station and continue driving. At the station, the officers dragged him out of the van by his feet and put him in a wheelchair while he was still asking for help. The officers dismissed his pleas and booked him into the detention center. They took him out of the wheelchair and dragged him into the cell where he was on the floor. Minutes later, paramedics arrived and took him to the hospital, Natalie.
And Axel, what are more of the key points in this case moving forward?
Natalie, the main key points that the attorney will be looking in this case is, why there weren't any seatbelts in this van, a seatbelt that could have prevented Cox from sustaining any injuries, and also why the officers did not follow protocols and waited for medical assistance, and also the fact that he was thrown into a wheelchair that may have worsened his injuries. The mayor of New Haven said today that this van and all police vans that do not have seatbelts have been taken out of service, and the police department is currently working to install seatbelts on those vans. This incident happened on June 19th, and Cox was arrested for illegal possession of a firearm. Right now, he remains on a respirator and a feeding tube, and he's largely paralyzed from the chest down, like we mentioned before. The New Haven mayor also said that there's an open investigation by the Internal Affairs Department, and also the Connecticut State Police has opened an investigation. We reached out to them for a comment, and they told us, quote, "This is an open and active investigation, and in the interest of preserving the integrity of the investigation, we will not be scheduling interviews at this time." The New Haven mayor said today that 5 officers involved in this case have been placed on paid leave while the investigation continues, Natalie.
All right, Newsy's Axel Tercios reporting for us from New York City on this.